Hello, welcome to Chapter 3 of Healthcare in Diverse Communities. This chapter is like 8 pages long. It doesn't talk about a lot. One of the big ideas at the front, though, is that this paradigm shift is driven by leaders. It doesn't happen on its own, and people like you are going to have to lead the shift to more culturally competent workplaces. Again, that there is an effect on the bottom line, which I'll talk about here in a minute. Visual affirmation, that the artwork and that the posters and that basically when people see the clinic, it's images that are familiar to them, that they might have in their own home, that they see people in posters and brochures that reflect their community and what they think of as their community. Um, and again, a lot of public health efforts are targeted toward minority groups because they're often underserved, and so they're the ones we're often trying to get into the door, into our programs. So, and also, again, this last idea of the bottom line in a business case, that as markets expand and more people have healthcare, a lot of people who haven't been served are going to be the sources of new revenue. So again, this shift of cultural competency, it helps people get better care, reduces malpractice because it improves communication between provider and patient. And it also helps again with informed consent because they need to understand what's going on. Now, I also included an article on African Americans and their distrust of the medical system. Again, only about 5-6 pages long. Basically, they access healthcare at a much lower rate than other racial groups. That there's a distrust of the system. A lot of it's historical. A lot of it is they don't see minority. There aren't a lot of minority providers. So there aren't people who look like them that help them. And of course, there are fewer clinics often in low-income areas. So these things, with some other factors in the article, kind of combine to low access of medical care among African Americans. And of course, if they don't have care, then of course you have negative health outcomes. Looking at the assignments for the chapter, for the module, assignment 3, you're going to make a poster that appeals to a minority group here in Black Hawk County, and that's based on your research from Module 1, where you talked about the demographics of Black Hawk County. Assignment 4, you're going to write about a 300 to 400 word paper, so page and a half, on African Americans and their distrust of the healthcare system, like we just talked about. And then, of course, you're going to have to work on schedule participation with me. Again, bring an article, be ready to discuss the 2 readings, and, of course, the assignments. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.